For the past several months, I have been listening, transcribing, and editing footage from the American Society for Cybernetics conference entitled Living in Cybernetics, Past, Present, and Future. This ASC conference took place in Washington, D.C. at George Washington University in August of 2014. Since it was the 50th anniversary meeting of the American Society for Cybernetics, I felt compelled to include video from other American Society for Cybernetic conferences I have attended and videotaped over the last 20 years.
Let me begin now with management. I know so little about management that I had to look it up in the dictionary. I used the American Heritage Dictionary of the English language, which has the great advantage over other dictionaries that it has the list of Indo-European roots where these words are coming from. So I looked up management, and I found to my delight it is akin to manacles, which I looked up in the dictionary, says constraining the movement of hands. So when I understood what management is all about, constraining the movement of hands, I thought I leave this particular topic to somebody else.
Deep listening is a way of being.
Traces from a museum where participants were invited to display cybernetic objects they brought to share with others is also included in this movie.
So this is Elena, and it makes extensive use of gumdrops.
Yes.
But it was too fragile.
And what is this?
Reminds me of Uribe.
This is a system that is transcomputational. And it gives the illusion that there are patterns, and if you look long enough, you see certain patterns.
Because I'm post-colonial, so we used to...
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's right. Post-colonial. I like that.
Post-colonial. So does that mean I should get a...
Post-colonial, Michael.
I should get something.
Let's turn together. Hello, Ronald. That's kind of cool.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Multiple perspectives.
Hey, I like that.
Why? So a single world, obviously, you know.
This movie is designed to be a plausible introduction to the ideas, people, and notions associated with cybernetic thinking, understanding, and doing.
What I'm quite interested in is the idea of creating a system that's emergent in nature, which by its very nature you can't know what the outcome will be.
And who are you?
I'm Jude Lombardi.
Why are you videotaping?
Because it's what I usually do at the American Society for Cybernetics. I've been doing it for 20 years.
Good to know. What do you do in Baltimore?
Make movies.
Who controls the technology, especially the editing technology in this kind of practice, is a major thing, and that's just something to think about in terms of sampling large amounts of digital information.
The movie also includes excerpts from presentations during the conference, particularly the small group reports about the future of cybernetics.
I hope you're recording. You get the camera recording the group.
Yeah, because the feedback is cyber mush.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's music to be made out of this.
You are welcome to actually join in the fun anytime that you might like.
What would it mean to think about a public intellectual. And a kind of design sense, or in the sense in which there is lived and performed and produced in the world. And then we were thinking about how a lot of the systems that we have, including social networks, are supposedly cybernetical, but at the very same time, they're also very linear. They're also not very dynamic, and they also tend to kind of like just perpetuate hierarchies, but it does not allow true feedback to kind of like happen.
This is group 145. We had one group over here, which was theme group 5, the context of education from the cybernetic perspective, which we decided maybe education wasn't the right word, and we changed that to learning. Expanded that to think of, if we weren't talking about education, needing to look at both informal and formal learning, as well as why it is that those get separated. So both places of formal learning, like schools, and places of informal learning, like museums or sandboxes.
Our group is theme group 2, looking at the creation of a cybernetic curriculum.
If the curriculum will have an opportunity for me to navigate through it and explore it, rather than just follow it, then it has to have more than one point of entry. So we thought, well, maybe there are different ideas we can start with, and it's important that we can start in all the places, or a whole set of places. And that means that when we get into it and move through it, although we're still going inevitably chronologically through what we do, we can do things in different orders, and we can meet other people who are on different trajectories.
In this concept, you actually you try to create a kind of shift between the borders. The borders are created and recreated through the navigation, and not something you have at the end.
So, what is cybernetics?
I like these ideas. I don't. My way has worked for hundreds of years. Why should I change? Because maybe I need you to. Learner, you could also take responsibility. You might not know what you want to learn, and yet you can still learn how to observe, reflect, and respond to that which is around you. All of you can.
At the same time, both groups realized that we needed each other.
Needing each other, our interconnectedness, something Mary Catherine Bateson addressed in one of her presentations at the conference.
My mother was doing things that were not done by middle-class American women, like breastfeeding. How lucky I was. How incredibly lucky. To have a mother who questioned the cultural assumptions.
The movie also includes comments and/or reports from many of the presidents of the American Society for Cybernetics.
It wasn't just the ideas, the culture of the people who were in the cybernetics community. And I also was blown away by the participatory design. It was a way of structuring self-organizing processes.
At the core of this conversation is a conversation from a workshop entitled, "What is Cybernetics?"
I'm not going to try to explain what cybernetics is.
Smart
Question
man.
is for you.